This week in the League of Legends, we've got a brand new tag and teaser for a champion that we're all looking forward to, with some little secrets hidden here and there. Additionally, Nemesis Mode is out for play, and finally, some perks and rewards for playing with your most glorious of friends. All this and more on the Spastic Gaming Web Show.
This is Water Elemental.
And this is Axis, and we are here today to talk about the League of Legends. It's an ongoing show. We took a little bit about everyone's favorite mobile-style battle game.
The Wanderer Above. This was teased this Thursday or Friday. I can't remember, but it's been up for a couple of days, just like all of the newer champion things. It's a lot more dynamic than, say, just a small little picture and them going, find out soon, question mark.
Yes, now we've got some time for some analysis. So we've got a dude, he's sitting on a fire, and he's like, look at these constellations!
And then there's like 3 other people like, why are we on the middle of a cliff in the middle of nowhere?
Is this where we go for Avatar auditions?
I want to be Sokka!
I don't know who those people are.
Dude, Avatar's 10 years old.
I don't watch the show!
You're missing out. Anyways, so this has 5 slides to it. And each one has like a drawing, or 4 of them have a constellation drawn. The first one is what people are thinking is either A, going to be a Void champion, a Watcher, or the next champion. And I kind of hope that it's not a champion because this thing is ugly.
Well, I mean, it says it's from the Frage Lord.
So it would be a Watcher.
And it would, yeah, one of the Watchers, like the statues that you see in the 1v1 map or the ARAM map. So it'd be one of those guys, and he'd be like, you guys probably shouldn't mess with me because I have horrible psychic powers.
And then we go to the next one, and it's kind of an orb or something. I can't tell what this one's all about.
It's the fall of Shurima. So this is probably the Zillion remake that they're talking about.
That's true.
Slide number 4, we've got J4's crown.
What looks like J4's crown.
Yeah. So it's probably might be teasing at the idea because they've got a brand new page to write Demacian Loran, so it might be J4 becoming king
because it says the Shattered Crown is a king's reward for defying the Shadow's embrace. So I wonder if there's something that's going to trigger,
or Swain's going to finally be revealed to be J4.
It explains. Wait, how did that happen? And finally, the last image is the most recognizable one, and something that leads into some other stuff. It is a circle, and it kind of looks like a mask. You have kind of a Y shape and then 3 ovals. And these actually have been found on the PvE throughout Summoner's Rift.
Indeed. And
they glow when you walk by them.
They glow when danger is near. But they kind of tease in this text. They talk about it's the signature, basically the way that they mark that they are a bard, which might be related to Sona, it might be related to a new character, who knows? But
like a whole new race of people.
It's possible, because they say the name of their kind is bard. They don't say the name of their craft is a bard, so it's hard to say, but we'll see. We know Sona's an orphan, so she might be one of the bardlings.
Oh, how funny would it be if they just... They retcon her just to be some sort of oh yeah, she can talk now. It's just like, what?
She had yordle ears underneath her blue hair things. It's totally canon. But this is interesting. We'll have to see how it develops. For now, sweet FX. Definitely worth the read. They're really small slides. It's interesting to take a look at. The little bard symbols are on the PBE now, like he said. And they glow when you're near, and so if you ever feel like making stuff glow, just boot up your PBE account.
Keep an eye out at surrender@20.net. That's where we found out about the glowing orbs, or the glowing marks, because I don't think I would have known on my own.
Yeah, I don't really go on the PBE much anymore. But that's my choice. Dang it. Nemesis Mode is live.
It came out after we recorded the episode. I waited a day to edit up, and it's like, oh, it's out. Yay.
The thing about Nemesis Mode so far for me is I usually play characters that are not meta anyway. So I've actually been doing really well because it's just like, oh, we picked Victor and so Victor was one I got, Sejuani was one I got. I got Garen once.
For me, like, the first time I played it was actually the time I recorded.
I think I got
for the show.
Lulu once as well.
And so they're like, all right, we'll give you Thresh and Taric. And I'm like, Thresh, go AD, I'll take Taric. And they're like, why would anybody want to play Taric? I'm like, just trust me. And you will see that we dominated bot lane because I would stun them. He would pull him back, and then he would just AD Thresh him down. I'm just like, they're so dumb.
Oh, jeez.
I gave him Victor, and the guy didn't know how to play Victor because you just see lasers just go in opposite directions of where we were. You just see a laser go whoop upwards.
So you would say he was ADHD?
Yes.
Attack damage, high damage. We're gonna move on now.
Other stuff on the PvE, they are thinking about
We're nerds.
adding a new feature for people playing in parties.
I am completely against this. So you already are rewarded for playing in a group because you know the person, you're more accountable, you can talk to them, you usually are on voice chat. I think you should get bonus AD if you're playing with a group of friends. Because basically, if you're one person and you're playing with a group of 3 or more, the game is almost out of your hands at that point. Those 3 people have to play well together. And oftentimes, because their skill level is being clumped together, you can get a huge variance of skill in that one group. And, you know, it might be on average they're about your level, but you could get 2 guys that are really, really bad and 1 guy that's pretty decent.
Right. You could have that one guy that's being carried to help level him up.
Or 1 or 2 guys even.
Right. So the thing is, they say that you invite your friends, you play the game, and depending if you win or lose, you get an increased IP bonus. I think that this should be carried to everybody in the group, kind of how they do it in World of Warcraft, where if you have a group of 3 and then there's 2 people that are brought in from like the LFR will give you a bonus for having those 2 people that have been pugged in. So I think that everybody should be rewarded for playing in a group. Because, again, you could have people that are learning how to play. And I've had that where someone's like, oh, we're playing with a friend. I'm like, okay, and this guy absolutely horrible.
Yeah, it happens to me a lot when I play Dota, when I play Smite sometimes. You'll get a group of 2 or 3 people, and they're trying a new strat, or they're teaching somebody, or there's something there. And basically, I would almost prefer that I'm fighting against or with 5 solo players, because each person is different, they're unique, they're not accountable, they hate everybody as much as I do, they're not trying to help somebody. And so that can lead to all kinds of weird stuff. So really the boon should go to people that are queuing up solo, because, well, I mean, it shouldn't be a huge boon, because you should still play with your friends, but the bonus is already there that you're playing with your friends.
I'd say give an increased experience bonus or random runes. That would be the best way to do it if you want to reward people. Give something that it's valuable, but it's not going to hinder the people that are playing on solo.
There you go. But yeah, interesting feature. Hope they make it more rewarding to folks that have to put up with other folks. Because, like I said, when I'm playing solo with a bunch of other solo players, I want to know that they all hate everyone as much as I hate everyone else. That's what I want. I want everyone that holds everybody immediately accountable for being bad.
Yep.
Or for being good, for that matter.
Or being, all right. Let us know what you guys think about this whole party queue thing. If you think it's like what we're saying, how it's too, one-sided towards the people that are, have an agenda, towards the people that are just trying to play. And
solo queue is what makes your game. If you don't have solo queue people to fill in the gaps, you're going to get messed up. People already play with their parties. They will continue to play with their parties without a bonus system.
Right.
So you need to encourage solo queue. That's really it for official news this week. Kind of a slow week. We're coming down from a patch, guys, so we're going to move on to our own section. First question this week comes from Mester12. He says, do you guys believe that it was possible to balance DFG? Or was removing the item the only solution? I loved DFG.
When it came out, that was like the item we cheered about. That was right when the show started.
Indeed.
And we always were like, GFG's like the greatest item ever.
It made AP work when we were transitioning from AD only for auto attacks to AP and AP only abilities to AD scaling abilities. That DFG was the ace in the hole for ability casters back in the day. Since then, that disparity's only gotten worse, and DFG got worse as well. DFG, the problem is they changed it to a soul burn effect, which did a flat damage, and then it increased your outgoing. And the problem is with that is flash. You get tagged with the DFG, and one spell you will flash away, you will disengage. And that is nice, but they usually won't be vulnerable again for a long time. So DFG just sort of became a very niche item. Because originally, if you got tagged with a DFG, even if you flashed away, that was like 50% of your health gone. You could not re-engage.
Right.
New DFG, you get tagged, and with a spell, and you get away, it's like 30%. You know, you can heal that off.
What they could have done was they could have made it like an kind of some of the newer items that scale up and you build into more and more powerful versions of it. You could have had it start out very inexpensive, do the soul burn effect at a very low rate, and some small AP. And as you progress and get more money, you can build into higher versions of the DFG to the point where you have that tank burning item. And if you invest in the tank burning item, it'd probably be about 4,000 gold altogether, but it would be powerful enough to keep it going. You wouldn't have other items supplementing it. You'd probably have boots, one other item, but it would build into this really, really powerful one. So you could build into it, not just it's there early game, and it's straight out of the gate powerful.
Yeah. The big thing about old DFG, especially, was it built out of Kage's Lucky Pick, which means that if you were ahead, DFG was a really good pickup, because you would turn your early gold into Kage's, and you would let your farm compound, and then get DFG, and it would round out your kit. New DFG was a cooldown item with small amounts of mana on it, and then they took the mana off, so it was a cooldown AP item, which is, I guess, better, because it opened it up for more characters. But again, the effect was worse, so it was still a niche item.
Right, certain champions that ran it were like Akali and Talon, and other characters that you wouldn't suspect having them, but they just would come in, use that as a burn, and then...
See, the way I would have liked to see DFG kind of grow is similar to how they made, like, Manamune and the Archmage staff kind of grow.
Right.
Similar just to all the Tier of the Goddess items, wherein you would have DFG, right? Cooldown, ability power, effect. And then you could have a threshold. So, like, do a certain amount of damage while the DFG buff is active, or do a certain amount of activations on DFG on a target. And it would transform into, like, DDFG.
D, Deathfire's Grasp. DXD.
And it would be more relevant to more characters because it would have a new effect. Like, for instance, the DFG effect becomes a small AoE.
Right.
Or maybe your DFG effect is increased in duration. Or maybe it also enhances the effect of CC. Something to make the DFG item less of basically, okay, go ahead and use Flash or your escape.
Make it a caster version of the new machetes. Or the new jungling items where there's like 3 or 4 different versions of it you can build it to depending on the...
Possible. But again, we want to make it an optional item rather than just every AP get this. But having something like that where it's like, oh, if I use this a lot as complementary to my kit, this will be really cool. And it'll be more than just a niche item, and it'll encourage its use, and it'll be fun to use in combat. Stuff like that. Make it more than just a burst tool, I think would have been really helpful. Just removing it pushes casters even more close to get these 3 items, 1 situational, boots, and a defensive. That's because that's what casters get right now. AD and tanks, they have like 50 items to choose. Casters have like 9.
And they're even being pushed out of the lane that they're proficient in. They're being pushed out of mid lane by mid lane Akali's, Yasuo's, other
yeah, because
champions.
AD since probably Season 2 has been strictly better than AP.
Right.
It's ridiculous. But
look at some of the LCS champions. You really see less and less AP champions. Gragas is probably the most,
and they're nerfing the crap.
Yeah,
out of
he's
him.
getting a diet.
It's terrible. But yes, I think there is definitely better ways to balance DFG, to make it better, to make it more interesting, and to keep the ability, damage, item selection diverse, interesting, and fun. But that's it for official questions this week, guys. We're kind of...
Are there unofficial questions?
I wish. We rambled on that one a little bit, so we're just going to cut it here. We love questions on the show. We try to answer a few every week if we can. if you have a question for us about the show, about what we're doing, about what's upcoming, about games, about League of Legends, about anything really, we'll talk. I mean, we just love to talk about it.
We might even do other podcasts where we just talk. That'd be fun.
But feel free to ask. You can post it down in the comment section down below here. You can send it to our email. It's bestofgaming@gmail.com. Or post it on our Facebook, Twitter, or our pending website.
Website's almost finished. And with that, another announcement that you don't know about that I'm pulling out right now is if we can get 800 subscribers, we will have a launch contest on the main website, including riot points, gift cards, all that stuff, to kind of promote the new website, the new Patreon, all that stuff. So if we can get to 800 or above subscribers, probably by the end of March, we can definitely do some really fun things contest-wise that will come out of my own pocket because I'm awesome.
Yeah, you got that Power Ranger shirt on too. That's helping.
And my homeworld jacket. Don't forget my homeworld jacket.
You're nerding out today. Don't forget to check out our Patreon. That's patreon.com/bestofgaming. And enjoy more content. It's fun. It's helpful for us. It's helpful for you. And you get to see all kinds of cool stuff. And we get to talk to you. It's just great.
Once we actually, finish the website and start working on it.
But that's it for the show this week, guys. It's been Axis.
And Water Elemental.
What's our outgoing gag this week? Are we making fun of somebody or?
We're probably gonna make fun of the fact that as soon as this video goes up on Tuesday, we're gonna see the Bard.
Bardlings.
Rheumatitis.
I think I want to be a bard. Oh, I miss old Unforgotten Realms. I don't know if any of you know about that, but that was my favorite show back in the day. I loved that. I'm so sad that it went down the drain.